Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of our 7-star Terra raid build video. Pokemon Company kind of threw me a curveball on this one. Today is the 4th, June 4th, 2025. Um, I just actually got back reserving my spot to get my Switch 2. I'd torn down my Switch dock, I'd unplugged my capture card from it and everything, getting ready to set up for that. And then I I open up my Pokemon game. I open up Scarlet, or I like in handheld mode, I should say. I think I wanted to do my Go transfer, and I'm quickly hit with a hey, new 7-star raid. So plugged it back in, built some quick Pokemon. Luckily, a lot of them were ones I'd already had built, and I just kind of had to augment a little bit. So if you've been following along, copying my builds, you should be able to kind of do the same. But it's Porygon 2, which is very fitting. Switch 2. They just did a Porygon outbreak. Now they're doing Porygon 2 outbreaks to celebrate it. So it's cool. It's exciting. It's kind of funny that the Switch 2 coming out today kind of made this a little bit more difficult to record because I had to plug back in my dock. I had to plug back in my capture card, all that. But we're ready. We're here now. Um, so let's get into discussing the Pokemon. Porygon 2, of course, is a normal type Pokemon. It's going to be Terra type normal, so its normal move is going to be hitting extra hard. We actually know its full move set and its ability. As you can see, it's analytic, which means that this Pokemon goes second. I think it gets a 30% damage boost, which is quite a bit. But it's got a weird thing in its set that kind of offsets that, and we'll get to that in just a second. Tri-Attack is this Pokemon's signature move, I believe. I don't think it's technically a signature move, but that's what Porygon 2 is going to use. We got Psychic, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, very common what's it called, coverage options on this Pokemon. I think most of our sets are actually weak to one of these, at least one of these, but realistically it shouldn't matter too much. Porygon 2 is a decent special attack, but enough of the Pokemon are strong enough to where they should be able to take a hit before they can, or then that should give them the time they need to set up and everything. What's interesting is this Pokemon has Trick Room as its ability, or as a move it learns. And you'll be like, why? Like that's pretty common on Porygon 2. That makes it so this Pokemon's likely going to go first, and then Analytic won't take effect, which is really weird. If it throws up a Trick Room, it's like, okay, whatever. It's also got Discharge on here, which just kind of plays in a Thunderbolt. It'll hit everyone. I bet you it'll throw one of those out. Maybe at the beginning or once its shield goes up or something. As a pure normal type Pokemon, it's going to be weak to fighting type Pokemon. But keep in mind, it does have Psychic, so some of them are going to do a little bit better than others, either taking those hits or finding ways to not take those hits. This Pokemon is going to be in raids starting actually right now. Technically, it's quote unquote June 5th. I think it's a different time zone than my current one. And to June 15th, so you got like about 10 days to do it, which is exactly 10 days to do it, which is a decent amount of time to do one of these sets. I've actually heard that this battle is not too difficult at all, and that a lot of these sets make it very, very easy. So let's get right into it. Our first one here, I believe this guy was actually in like our last raid build video. We've got Mudsdale. This is the same Mudsdale. I don't even think I changed its stats at all. It's Terra Ground, or it's Ground type, Terra Fighting. Give it to Shell Bell, Hollow Item. And what this Pokemon focuses around is boosting its defense, which isn't very useful against Porygon. Porygon hits specially, but we're going to be using Body Press as our main damage output here. So by boosting our defense, we're just it's basically just an attack boost. So we've got Stamina, so every time this Pokemon is hit by an attack, its defense will go up automatically, and Iron Defense to help you speedrun there. If Porygon is going for straight attacking moves, you can get there in 2 turns. If you just Iron Defense get hit, that's +3. Iron Defense get hit, +3. You already at +6, and those Body Press are going to be doing the maximum amount of damage. Shell Bell will make it so you're healing off any damage you're taking as well, which is very nice. Stamina is very important in this Pokemon. We've also got Rock Smash and Mud Slap on there, and maybe help you build to your Terra if you really want. If you're not taking a whole lot of damage, I'd go for some Rock Smashes so that by the time you do get your Body Press to +6, you're dealing extra damage. Mud Slap is there if you notice that you or your team is not taking the hits like you'd like to. You can make it so Porygon maybe will hit you a little bit less with Mud Slap or 2. I'd recommend staying away from that, but this Pokemon needed a 4th move, so there you go. Again, Stamina is really important on this Pokemon. When it comes to its EVs, you want to max out HP, max out defense, and the last 4 points in a special defense. And when it comes to its IVs, everything matters except its special attack stat. And technically, I guess also its attack. It uses both of its attack stats, but not on moves that are meant to do damage. Rock Smash and Mud Slap, obviously, Mud Slap uses special, Rock Smash uses physical offense, but those aren't your damage output moves anyway. Body Presses, which use your defense, so just keep that in mind when building this Pokemon. It's going to be a plus defense minus special attack nature, which is impish, so keep that in mind. Moving on to our next Pokemon, it's Iron Hands. I don't know what you guys expected. Of course, Iron Hands are going to be useful in a normal type Terra raid. Iron Hands, of course, is a fighting electric Pokemon. Give you the Terra type of fighting and make it hold that scope lens. This is literally just the Iron Hands set, I'm going to be honest. Drain Punch, Electric Drain, Focus Energy, Belly Drum. I'm probably going to tell you how to do this. Go for a Belly Drum if you can. Maybe go for defense here. If you're early on in the fight and you don't really see a whole lot of support around you. Electric Train's great if you see other Iron Hands in the raid. You throw one of those down, you attack boost everyone, which will be super useful. And then, of course, Focus Energy with a Scope Lens basically means you're guaranteed crits, which is huge. Those Drain Punches are going to be doing quite a bit of damage and healing you, so you don't need the Shell Ball, and you can use the Scope Lens instead. Quark Drive is this Pokemon's only ability, which will give you that Electric Drain boost that I mentioned previously. When it comes to its EVs, max out HP, max out attack, it's the last 4 points of special defense, so this Pokemon can take a Psychic or two a little bit better. It's going to hurt, I'm going to be honest, the Psychic is going to hurt, so maybe throw out a defense here early on if you don't have any support team members, but Iron Hand should be fine. You can replace Belly Drum with Swords Dance if you want it to be a little safer, but from what I understand, this raid isn't too difficult, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Adamant is going to be this Pokemon's nature, which is plus attack, minus special attack, and when it comes to its IVs, everything matters except its special attack stat. We've gone to our next Pokemon. We've actually got what I believe is the only special option here. Goldango works really well defensively, so I kind of turned it into a pseudo-offensive build. We've got Steel and Ghost as its basic typing, which you'll notice resists everything, I think, except Thunderbolt and Discharge, which is very interesting. You're going to want to give it the Terra type of fighting. I might be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that's true. I'm on the spot right now. We'll say Thunderbolt and Discharge is the only thing that hits it neutral. If I'm wrong, say something in the comments below. I've made mistakes in these videos before. Give it the Shell Bell Hall item, of course. I think all of these guys have Shell Bell today. Let me look. No, one of them does not. Oh, and I don't think I put the items on 2 of them. Okay, you get to see me do that. I'm just not remembering that. Of course, this Pokemon's moves are right here. Recover is a great way to keep Goldango in the fight for a little bit longer. Again, you're not going to be taking a whole lot of damage, so you definitely have enough time to get 1 or 2 of those off if you need to. Nasty Plot and Light Screen are great for not only setting up, but making sure you're taking a lot less damage from those Thunderbolts and Discharges, as well as boosting your team. Like we see an Iron Hand throw up a Light Screen so that the Psychic's a little bit less hard. Focus Blast is this Pokemon's main damage output. I would absolutely use some PowerPoint up move or items on that. 5 is probably not going to be enough, even with how easy apparently this raid battle was. When it comes, its ability has to be good as gold. So I think it's the only one it gets. When it comes to its EVs, I maxed out HP, maxed out special attack, and the last 4 in special defense. And when it comes to IVs, everything matters except its attack stat. Moving on to our next Pokemon, which I didn't actually. No, this is not the one I thought I forgot the item on. We've got Malamar, Dark and Psychic type, and you're going to get the Terra type of fighting. I bet you guys can see what's going on here too. Give it the Shell Ball Held item. Malamar has the ability Contrary, which makes it so any stat changes are actually reversed, which makes Superpower a snowballing move and a half. Your Superpower is going to build up both your defense and your physical offense. Defense you don't really care about, but having an insanely high base power fighting move, I believe it's 120, that boosts your attack every turn is great. We've also got Terra Blast on there if you run out of superpowers. I also threw, hold on, I totally didn't edit this Pokemon's moves at all. This Pokemon is supposed to have Light Screen, not Sunny Day. So you know what I'll do? Just pretend this Sunny Day right here is Light Screen. I don't think I have a TM made for it. I remember I meant to go make one, but my bad. So there's also supposed to be Light Screen on this Pokemon. Keep that in mind. Although realistically, you'd probably be okay without it, but it'll be useful, especially if you have Iron Hands or 2 on your team. Reversal's on there as well, though. If your Pokemon gets low on health, Reversal actually goes up a lot in power. So if you're already at +6, going for a Reversal can be kind of huge if you're low on health. That should give you the Shell healing you need. When it comes to its EVs, you want to max out HP, max out attack for the last 3 points into special defense. Give this Pokemon the Adamant nature. I don't think I mentioned with Goldango, by the way, you want Modest. And then Iron Hands is Adamant as well. I can't remember if I mentioned all that. But again, Adamant on Malamar. Contrary is really important as its ability, and when it comes to its IVs, everything matters except the special attack stat. And remember, that missing move spot's supposed to be Light Screen. I just completely forgot to throw it on there, so I apologize for that. Moving on to our next one, kind of a fun one. We've got Scrafty here. Scrafty works pretty well defensively here as well, similar to Goldango. Dark obviously makes it so Psychic doesn't do any damage, which is kind of huge. So Scrafty can't be hit super effectively, and then Fighting makes it so it can hit back super effectively. Give it the Terra type of Fighting, of course. Keep in mind when you Terra, you lose that Dark type defensively, so just be a little careful about that. This is kind of just a fun set. You got Swords Dance on there. Just press 1 or 2 of those and start going for Drain Punches. If you're not taking hits how you'd like, you can throw up an Amnesia. And once you get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm healing enough with my Shell Bell, which is what I forgot to hell item. You can see, I play a lot of this game, so if you see a lot of items, that's exactly what it is. Kind of telling on myself how much time I spend playing this game here. There's Shell Bell. Yep, I stocked up on quite a few of them for situations like this. Give it the Shell Bell held item, and that High Jump Kick will be healing quite a bit, even though you're not using a Drain Punch. Keep in mind, though, High Jump Kick doesn't have 100% accuracy, it's 90% accurate, and if you miss, you take quite a bit of damage, so just be a little careful about that. Shed Skin is this Pokemon's only ability that actually does anything here. If you get not poisoned, paralyzed, or I think even frozen, it works on freeze, doesn't it? Yeah, it totally does. Shed Skin has a chance to just clear it at the end of the turn. I think it's a 1/3 chance, which is kind of nice. So there are two abilities literally do nothing here, so you might as well use that. When it comes to its EVs, you want to max out HP, max out attack, put the last 4 points in special defense. This Pokemon is going to be Adamant, which is up attack minus special attack. And when it comes to its IVs, everything matters except its special attack stat. Moving on to our last build here, we've got Komodo. Komodo is a dragon and fighting Pokemon, so it's going to be weak to those psychics. Keep that in mind. It's going to be a Terra type, or not psychic. It's going to be a Terra type of fighting. Forgot an item on this Pokemon too. This one's actually an interesting one. You want to give it the Citrus Berry Held item. Just for a little bit of extra healing early on. You're going to have Clangorous Soul, which is kind of why you want the Citrus Berry in this Pokemon. That's going to take 1/3 of your health away, so you're going to be taking a Psychic after that, and it's going to hurt quite a bit. But Clangorous Soul is +1 in every stat, including special defense and attack, which is what we're mostly using it for. We've also got Swords Dance on here if you want to play a little bit safer and just go for the straight +2 to attack. Reversal's on here for the same reason that it is on Scrafty. If you're at a point where you know you can take a hit, but your health is low, throw out a reversal. It'll do quite a bit of damage, especially after a good couple attack boosts from Swords Dance or Clangorous Soul. And then your main damage move is going to be Drain Punch, especially once you get a Terra that's going to be doing quite a bit of damage. None of this Pokemon's abilities do anything at all here, so I just left what it came with, which I guess is bulletproof. When it comes to its EVs, you're going to max out HP, max out attack, but the last 4 points in special defense. I feel like a broken record saying that. And it's going to be Adamant Nature, which is plus attack minus special attack. When it comes to its IVs, everything matters except its special attack stat. You know the usual. And with that being said, that's all of our builds here today. I was a little bit more disorganized than usual. I apologize for that. I'm a bit, feeling a little hectic. I got to go pick up my Switch 2 in a couple hours. Pretty stoked for that. Hopefully the next raid build video will be on a Switch 2. I don't know why it wouldn't, so it'll definitely be there. Unless something crazy happens, knock on wood. But I'm going to call it here. Again, only thing I really forgot, put the light screen on Malamar. If you're using Malamar, which is a fun Pokemon to use, it's probably the one I'm going to try. Make sure it has light screen. It'll be very useful. With that being said, I'm going to call us here. Hope to see you guys out there in those raid dens. Good luck. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.